So generally clusters, it's about firms, but also it's about networks. Network relationships with key institutions, private, public, trade associations, universities, governmental institutions. So the key networks for this industry, it's mainly the Ministry of Agriculture. They have, the Ministry of Agriculture has a local branch in the specific territory where wine is produced. So there is a lot of transfer of knowledge between the government information, new product development, new technology upgrading, and this was very important at the beginning of the industry, technology upgrading. And also Wines of Chile, the trade association. Universities are playing a smaller role, though important because they are doing some applied research, and they have developed some specific programs for the wine industry, but the interaction is smaller compared to Wines of Chile, the trade association. So we found a key role of the trade association. The interaction between firms are both formal and informal interaction is considered important by firms with the different actors. Innovation is important, and again, we found that marketing innovation was key, like information system. And information systems is becoming key because of the new trends of consumers. Nowadays, we need to recognize the millenniums, market segments of consumers around the world. And these millenniums are young professionals between 28 and 40 years old, generally single, with high income, and with very high disposable income, that use technology to get information, that use technology to get referrals. So they spend a lot of time in Facebook, in LinkedIn, in social media. So nowadays, marketing campaigns not only about a TV ad or a newspaper ad or a specialized ad in a magazine. It's about how to reach these new affluent customers around the world through social media, internet. Sources of funding. Money is always important for doing all these activities. So who's paying for these activities? Own companies. Companies, Chilean companies and Chilean companies that belong to a cluster believe in entrepreneurship, believe in private initiative. So the sources of funding are private funding from their own companies, and if the company has some lack of funding, but they have a very good business plan and marketing plans, they will go into the stock exchange and go public, give away some part of the ownership. So it's a very aggressive expansion plan. We also asked in a survey about externalities. You may know the traditional externalities created by economic externalities. There are negative externalities in economic terms, for example, pollution. Maybe firms will produce congestion. But also there are some positive externalities. And here we need to distinguish between passive externalities and active externalities. Active externalities are created by managers because it needs the commitment from a manager to interact with other company, to collaborate and create a joint branding, for example, a joint brand. So here we look at the location benefits. How important it's for a firm to be located in a specific place and how this creates specific benefits for your firm. So the specific benefits of collocation in this industry were enhanced reputation and credibility of your firm and products, so marketing issues, building brands, building regional brands, region of region effect. Also, to have access to graded international marketing demand, again, marketing issues. And access to a skilled labor pool, because universities are there and are training the right scientific people that will work in the industry. So this is the mean and the standard deviation. So we use a five-point Likert scale to measure these issues. From 1 was very low to 5 was very high. Later, we asked about the specific marketing benefits that collocation brings to your firm. They said, okay, to be collocated in a specific region and to have interaction with other firms is so important in order to have joint marketing delegations for foreign markets. Because we know each other, so we will have certain knowledge. Okay, I'm going to Japan to do a market research, to participate in a fair trade. Okay, let's go together. So they take the plane together, the managers, and they go there because they know each other, the trust issues, the social capital building in specific regions. Joint trade fair participations and trade missions to new markets. Again, international marketing activities were quite important. Here, cooperation with whom? Firms are cooperating with the same companies located with companies located outside the district, outside the region. And this is interesting because sometimes companies will have different sites of production in different parts of the country. Or sometimes companies will collaborate with companies in the same location for some activities, but for production activities and for new product diversification, maybe they will collaborate from companies located in different regions because they will have different kind of wines, different kind of production. So this was quite interesting. And also with firms located in the same local area. And the investment. The investment will be for joint promotion strategy, joint database technology. There were some significant, statistically significant difference between small and large firms. And we found that smaller firms, these are small firms, and this is medium and large firms, smaller firms enjoy more the issues of collocation and cooperation. So maybe cooperation is more important and more beneficial for small firms than larger firms, especially at the beginning of a cluster development. Maybe when cluster matures, this is part of different studies that I will present in the forum, when cluster matures, companies tend to collaborate less. So collaboration is more important at the beginning, and it's found to be more important for small firms rather than for larger firms. So the main conclusions. Location is important, mainly when you are dealing with agricultural products, mainly if you have a clear international marketing strategy, and mainly it's very important for the fifth element of the marketing mix, country origin effect and region of origin effect. So the main cooperation activities is for something, it's for some reason, for attracting new customers in international markets. We found an important role of the trade association, Wines of Chile, in order to coordinate these activities. And also in order to create social capital, social interaction at formal and informal levels. We found that the benefits of location and cluster was more important for smaller firms. There is a strong competition. And we found that this cluster, and also with other studies, also we found the same in the Chilean context, that is, we can call it entrepreneurial clusters. So companies and cluster strategy, it's from the bottom, it's a bottom-up approach. So cluster strategy and cooperation is from the companies. They don't want intervention from the government. It's a very much entrepreneurial culture, bottom-up approach, instead of a top-down approach that can be found in other cases, other cluster cases, like for example, in the case of Scotland, where the cluster strategy is led by the Scottish executive, and they promote specific clusters, and they have a specific industrial policies across different regions. And of course, they put some money for this cluster development. Also, we can find these examples in New Zealand. The same, in New Zealand, they believe on regional development, and they put certain resources, the national government put certain resources in specific areas of development, but also they give some funding for cooperation because they want specific industries to be competitive at international levels. In the case of Chile, no. Companies do not want intervention from the government, and they believe in free market policies, and they want from the government the right macroeconomic environment and the right infrastructure at regional levels in order to reach new international markets.